So do you, like a producer.
Welcome.
So finding a way to organically like inseminate a friend was kind of weird for me. Is this what's the rating you're putting on this? Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Fuck yeah.
Making the choice to have kids can be really, really hard. So I'm talking to all kinds of people that have made the choice either one way or the other and figure out what these lives really look like.
You're never going to know if it's the right decision.
This is Maybe Baby.
So, I have no idea what is going on in your life. So, can you just give me an overview to like help frame up
Yeah, where we're at.
dig into?
My name is Obadiah Freeman. I'm an entertainer, improviser, actor, barber. That's new. I don't have kids, but I want kids. I think.
Well, actually, we're gonna come in hot. I'm curious.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do question for question.
You said I'm curious about my fertility.
Yeah, dog.
I should have had a scare by now. Tell me what that means.
I don't know. My pull-up game is weak, you know. So sometimes I'm just like, wow, I'm scared. But I haven't had an issue so far, which is scary. Sometimes on the other side of things, you know, on one hand, as like a 20-year-old, like a teenager, it's like, oh, it's cool, like it's scary. But the older you get, it's like, damn, what if I actually like I'm infertile? Like that's a scary thing that's becoming an issue. I just turned 30 like this year, so I'm like thinking about that more. I've been approached to be a daddy donor. I keep saying that. No one has a name for it. There's 2 times that someone was asking me to be like a donor dad. And the second time, like, we actually did try. And like it never caught. And so that was a little shocking, a little scary. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. My doctor was like, I mean, it's mostly the woman's biology that handles the baby. So really it's the woman's fault.
Always. It's funny because I was talking to someone about this yesterday, how it's like you put so much pressure on the decision to have kids that like sometimes you don't even factor in like, can I have kids?
Yeah, right. At least for me, it didn't become something I thought about until, I thought about it. Like having kids for real, like not avoiding having them, but like actively trying to get them somewhere in the world. Which has been, it's a new journey, but it's not something I'm actively trying for myself, so it hasn't been like that much of an issue. I feel bad for the people who are trying to like get a kid, and I think they found another donor. I'm not sure. They just stopped texting me. But
did you imagine yourself being a part of that child's life?
I imagine being a part of that child's life, like the child of the people that I gave my life to. These are really like close friends that I've known for years. That actually I saw them like get together, and they both have the biology of people who couldn't have babies together. So they asked me to do it. And we had a whole discussion about like my involvement in the child's life, like would I want to be involved? And they're like very welcoming. They're like, you can be like an uncle until they want to know more, or that discussion can come up naturally with the kid. That was them. The second time I was asked, they were like, yeah, we don't want you involved at all. And I like signed paperwork, and they're like, once like all the rights to the child are signed away, which is, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, the kids, I feel like the child would look for me at some point. So I think that discussion didn't come up, and we don't have to have it now, but that definitely was something that I had in my heart. I'm like, if the kid is out there in the world, they're going to find me if I'm still in the world.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so did it change the way that you think about having biological children of your own?
It did. Because I thought that I could, but what I wanted from having a child, I could get from being a donor. Like just creating life and having that person be in the world. Because I teach, I'm around kids a lot, and those kids are my kids. Like everything that I would do with a child that is mine, I do with those kids. Like I want to see them grow and become the best version of themselves, and like see the world in the most positive way possible, and go through it and make it better in the way that they see that is. And like, I don't need to have someone like from my biology come into the world to do that. But then when it was with somebody else, it was just like, well, there's my way to do that without being like an active parent, because I've seen my brothers do that. It's not easy. And I'm not necessarily interested in the work of being a parent, but I'm interested in the benefits. So maybe I'm not ready.
Sounds like you're more focused on like you want to bring life into the world, but not so much you don't feel like you have to be a parental source for that?
The world right now doesn't seem like it needs me to bring a child into it. And also the world as it is, I feel like I wouldn't want to bring a child into it. So I'm happy with like helping and teaching the kids that are already here and like developing them into the people that can make the world a better place, which is what I feel like the purpose of having children is.
So it's interesting that you had two totally different donor situations where one would have been involved, one you wouldn't have been involved.
Yeah.
Did you have any conflicts, like when you were deciding to embark on that?
Like how to actually inseminate was tough. A little tough. It was just like it was kind of a harder conversation because it's like there are facilities that will do it, but they approached me because they want to circumvent that whole situation. It's thousands of dollars and expensive, and they didn't want to do that. So like finding a way to organically create this relationship and like inseminate a friend was kind of weird for me in the first place. And I feel like it created like an awkward vibe between the three of us, which I didn't want to have happen. They lived in California at the time. They lived in Long Beach. And I went to visit them and we just hung out together. We were always really good friends though. And they were like pretty well-practiced polyamorous couple. And I was either just in or out of a polyamorous relationship as well. And the lessons there are a lot of like, if there is a child, it's like a village that raises it. It's not like the two-parent household or like the man and the woman raising a child. It wasn't really something that we thought about. It's more like having a community of people that would help that kid become whatever that kid wanted to become, which is kind of how my family's always been, regardless of my dating situation or status.
You just opened up a whole wormhole of things because I've been wanting to interview a polyamorous person. So this is exciting. I guess when you have been in polyamorous, are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna ask you like a lot of personal things. So if there's anything that you're like, I don't really want this being out there, just let me know.
I'll let you know.
So when you were in a polyamorous relationship, what does that mean? Are you still thinking about starting a family in the same way you are in a, what would you call a non-polyamorous relationship?
I'm monogamous.
Monogamous.
Having a kid in a polyamorous relationship like requires that everybody kind of gives everything that they can to that kid. It becomes more about the child than like the relationships around them. When I was growing up, when my dad wasn't home, I would have like uncles that would come and help out with things around the house. Throughout my upbringing, I was kind of raised in that manner of like, it doesn't take two people to raise somebody. It takes a lot of people to raise somebody. And I think it benefits a child a lot more when you have people coming from their various different backgrounds to like deliver knowledge and wisdom to that child. And in a polyamorous relationship, that already sort of it's built in. It's like I'm me with my partner. She has her girlfriend, and her girlfriend has her husband, and like everybody's here to support that kid. It's not about like it becomes less about our relationships with each other. It's like how do we best support this kid? I met somebody at the zoo once. I was doing a shoot, and she had a family of like 5, and they all lived together. It was her boyfriend, and her boyfriend, and his wife. And they had like 4 kids. And they were just like, they had mom, and they had, I don't remember her name, but they called her name. It was just like, that's their family structure, you know? For us, for a lot of us, we have like our 2 parents. But I mean, children, they come to the world and they're going to be taught what the world is by the people who raise them. So normal is going to be a lot different. And it was really interesting talking to her because it's like those kids had a stronger support network. Like if someone couldn't take them to school, someone else could. It just created more opportunity for success.
I'm so glad that we're talking about this because I feel like as someone that isn't exposed to polyamory, I just don't know a lot about it.
Yeah.
And like I think when you're in like such a monogamous focused culture, people tend to view those types of relationships as like so sexual based.
Yeah.
But like there's I'm so glad that we're talking about this to see like it's obviously more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. It can come off as like a really fringe idea for a lot of people and from the outside, and then also being inside of a polyamorous relationship. Like the fringe thing is there. It's like we all know how people are looking at us. And then it also, that thought impacts what's going on inside of the relationship too, right? Like are we doing this because we're like hypersexual? And then having that discussion becomes a part of like the growth out of that mindset. And it's like, well, this is actually doing a lot more than that. This is actually helping us to support each other in ways that were sort of unimaginable when you're in a monogamous relationship.
Okay, so I remember a while ago you in your blog posts and stuff, which are you still doing those?
And I haven't done it in a long time. Wow, thank you.
But you were talking about exploring your sexuality.
Yeah.
And at one point you said that you were bisexual.
Yeah.
Are you still identifying that way?
Yeah, I am. I'm still like, I'm kind of finding new ways to identify with myself all the time. I think I labeled it early and I didn't know what I was doing really. And I don't know if that really fits me, but I know that I'm not straight. I'm queer, but I don't know what that means yet. I'm still exploring that. I have different feelings about it though, you know, like I have the conditioning of my family and my parents, and then I have the conditioning of the world, and all these things going through me all the time, but I always let those things go as they come. And I think that makes it difficult to land on anything.
And how does that, not only just your sexuality, but then sexuality in terms of parenthood, like
Right.
how is that influencing that decision?
I think it's fascinating when it comes to kids and sexuality, because like with polyamory, like we can sexualize what sexuality means instead of it being just like who you are. Like trying to avoid introducing a child to like queerness at a young age because you think it's gonna do something to them, other than just like give them an idea of a reality of the world. Like it'll make them gay or like make them queer or whatever because you taught them what queerness is. That's really ill logic, I think. Like no kid wants to be a chicken because you showed them a farm. It's just, well, actually they do, but they wouldn't, you know. They wouldn't become a chicken. It's impossible. You're just teaching them what it is. But if they already are, I mean, then that's going to reinforce the goodness of who they are, and that's really important too. When we were shopping for my first nephew's sort of clothes and things, there was a family member who feels sensitive about gender and sexuality. I'll keep them out of this, but I'll keep their name and position in the family out of it. But they had influence, and we were buying clothes that were like pink for a boy, and those clothes, I don't know what the family, maybe they like threw the clothes away, or like we had faces made comments about the clothes being the wrong color for the baby. I mean, like, boys should wear pink, I think. Like, boys should absolutely wear pink. Why not? What if you like pink and then you can't wear pink? That's fucking annoying. Like, especially if you're a kid. It's like, I like pink. Like, yeah, wear pink. You're a kid. But then, yeah, those conversations about gender and sexuality, I haven't had really specific ones, but I'm really proud of my brother for how, at least for what I've seen in the way that he raises both of his sons now. Like, questions come up, they're answered. It's not like, not answered through like a personal opinion of his own experience, but like sort of a general, as objective as a subject can be about what things are and how things go. Because things change, people change, the world changes. So like our opinions are just as valuable as the moment we say them. And I think kids need to know that. I was taught that being queer was wrong or gay was wrong. I mean, for multiple reasons, but I think as a child, figuring out those instances, like being pushed towards girls, like being told that I was going to marry a girl one day, or like or not told that I could marry whoever I wanted one day. It creates like this combativeness inside of like one's own spirit, and I feel that when I'm teaching kids or I'm talking to my nephews. It's like if they hug their like male friends, or like give them a hug or like hold their hand. Like, those things are fine. Like, that's your friend, right? Like, how do you feel about your friend? That's all that matters. Kids are feeling new feelings all the time, and like guiding children through those feelings without imparting your own is really a valuable skill that I'm trying to develop.
And can you talk about how like traditionally things are labeled masculine, like holding your friend's hand is feminine, like having a little boy like a pink shirt is feminine.
Yeah.
What those labels are and
Yeah. The whole masculine feminine ideology is it's fascinating to me, really, because I mean, in like Spanish, there's words that belong to feminine and masculine, right? So and in English, we do have things like culturally wearing pink, holding hands, long hair, like these things that belong to a gender type. But like none of them make, like I get how culturally or linguistically, like they help us to have structure, to understand things in a certain way. And it's really fun to watch it all fall apart. Like, it's like, what's going to happen when we can't do that? When that doesn't make sense, when everybody's like, there is no gender. It's just this chaotic sort of mess of stratosphere of possibilities. And it's a whole spectrum of, just people being themselves. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think that's cool. I think that's dope. Like, we have structures to help us understand things, but the more we understand things, we can sort of let go of those structures. It's like those things helped us get to this point, but they only helped us for so long, and now they're hurting us. So how do we design a better world? And it's actually not our job. I think that's why we need kids. Those kids will figure out how to make a better world than we ever could. It's just letting go of our egos and letting them do it. Letting them be the leaders that they are. And just like, some people gotta die. I think that's just how the world works. Some people have to die to make room for the children that'll make the world better.
When you imagine a life with kids, do you imagine it with a man, a woman?
Yeah. When I imagine a life with kids, I imagine life with a woman. Like, that's sort of my sexuality leans, as far as like my romanticism and my sort of partnership. I think mostly because I prefer women leading. It's sort of my thing. Like, women just are better in general. I feel like better leaders. I feel like people who have more experience with oppression have a better idea of how to be empathetic, and on average. And I think that they, at least as a parent for me, I would like to have that energy next to me when raising somebody, because I'm very wrong a lot, and I like to have somebody who can be right. And that doesn't have to be a woman, absolutely not. But at least someone who has a feminine culture inside of them, a feminine sort of spirit, or a feminine understanding.
And so you're one of 5 brothers.
Yeah.
That's very unique. Like, how...
Yeah.
What is your thought on being an only child?
Yeah. Being one of 5 children, I feel bad for only children. Bad. Because I don't know the experience. Maybe they're having a great time, but like, having siblings was really important in my upbringing. Being the 5th also meant that I had the best version of my parents, I feel like, because they had gone through so many different iterations of raising children. 4 times already. And then all those lessons and mistakes and conversations and things led to, them ultimately becoming parents that could create the perfect child. And I think it's really, it turned me into somebody who, I have so many mentors in my older brothers. I have so many people to look to see, like my brother who's a parent, who has his 2 sons. Like, he also taught me how to be how to make money out of doing art. Like, having people to look to watch their mistakes and to watch their success. When my parents had their experience in this generation, I have 4 older people who can tell me, and I can believe and trust and have an understanding of me. They can tell me how to move through the world, which was really important. They're really important to me. Yeah.
What's one question you wish you had an answer to that would help inform this decision?
It's like the meaning of life. What is it? And I think that answer is sort of the answer to, creating life. Like, if you can understand why we're doing it, then you should make more. But I don't have that answer. I don't know why we're doing this. I don't know why I'm doing it sometimes. I'm okay. But I've definitely been through that. Like, I don't need to be here. So how much do I need to bring somebody else here is a good question to ask, probably. I've done a lot of work to practice this mindset of egolessness and trying to let go of myself. And it's a big part of my work as an actor, is just sort of letting go of my preconceived idea of my existence to allow the existence of other beings through me. And in that practice and in that training, it's sort of come to me that, like, as much as I have impacted things, my impact is also very little on a larger scale. My ego loves to be stroked. Like, I've done some great things for sure. And I can say that through that lens. And, 80 years, who knows? I mean, 80 years, someone else could do something different. Someone else will. So my presence, although felt by many, will also never be felt by even more. And that's true for every being. So I'm not really pressured to be in existence or to create more.
Like, something I worry about is, like, am I living a life to its full extent if I don't have kids?
Yeah, I've thought about that. That's come to mind quite a lot, actually. It's like, does your existence matter if you haven't created more of it? I battle with that because it feels really primitive, I think, and I'm always considering how to be more advanced. Not to belittle people who have that idea that having children makes you more. I just don't think that that idea leads to a child who feels good about themselves. I think if you have a child anticipating that they will make you better, then you have already given up on some things about making that child the best thing that they can be. Because it's more about you. That's not what life is. It should never be that. And people who have children should absolutely understand that.
I'm going to ask this both ways. Do you
Yeah.
think that having kids is selfish?
You don't need to have kids. There's so many already here that need people to help them in the way that you want to help that kid you're going to have. And it is like, well, it's going to be my kid. Or, there's already kids you can do that work for. That's why teaching is so important to me. It's like, there's kids who are coming to classes and from school to after school programs that are coming from homes where their parents aren't supporting them, like mentally or spiritually or emotionally. And the only space that they may find that is with a person who has that mindset, but they don't have it for other kids. Like, if you could have that mindset for all children, then you could really change the world. But you just want to bring another kid in the world, and that kid's going to do great. Well, what about this kid over here who's already in the world, who's now going to become probably an issue, a problem child, to your kid, or, they're going to become the president of the United States on accident 1 year. Fuck everybody over. So we got to take care of our kids, no matter if they're yours or not. And I forgot the question. I truly love them, though. I think I just really love kids. I love their presence in the world. I think they're really important. They're funny. They have great jokes, and they have this sort of infinite inspiration to be anything. I want to be like that. I look up to that energy. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. I guess I don't have to have kids in order to be around that, to benefit from that. Wow, interesting. Great documentary.
How does being a Black man influence your perspective on having kids?
Fascinating. Yeah. My father is a great guy. He's a really nice guy. And just like a really good man. He had 5 boys, 5 kids. I'm one of them, obviously. And I think he is a Black father, but he raised us in a time where there was a lot of like media around black fathers being absent, and he was always there. Seeing him come home was really awesome. He was my favorite parent as a younger kid, and that changes all the time, Mom. But I think he influenced me to feel like it's a good thing to be a father. Like it's a positive thing to be a father. And I suppose when I think about it that way, when I think about like my Blackness in connection to my parenthood, like I do want to see Black babies. I love Black babies. I think they're really important, and them being supported is really important. And then again, I don't have to be the person creating them. There's a teacher, Miss Jenkins, and she was like a counselor who was super cool. And I was in Urban League Scholars program. So there was a bunch of black kids that looked up to Miss Jenkins. She was really cool. And I remember she had a baby and like she stopped coming to school. She would bring the kid. You know, it's a newborn baby, so she had to leave and take care of the baby. But when she came back, she brought the baby. And she just was never, she couldn't come back anymore. And for me as a kid, it's like she never came back. She just left. And I don't know, that impact, this is kind of separate, I suppose, but that impacted me in a way that I didn't really think of until just now. Like, she was a really strong pillar in the school and like a really close friend to a lot of students. And everybody was like really happy that she had the child and everything, but her absence was really felt. Like, it's like the program changed a lot after she left. And that was, you know, in a way, if you're looking at like the, you know, the trolley problem, it was like a dozen kids for the one baby. Not to put I hope that baby's doing great. I love that. I love the kid. I love like the idea of the kid. I never really met them or knew them because she left. But because specifically in that program, I mean, it was black children who had her as like a mom at school, more or less. I'm sure she probably felt similarly, if a sister or an aunt whose family.
When you are a parent, you are, at least from what I see, it's like you're a parent first. Like right now you're an entertainer, you're a filmmaker, whatever.
Yeah.
But now you're a parent.
Yeah, you know, I haven't been a parent, but I feel like that idea of like, drop everything, you're a parent first. It really like, it doesn't serve the kid. Because I've learned, at least with my nephew and then with other kids, like they're not interested in being around you as their mentor or as their teacher or as their parent. They're interested in being around you because of who you are. And so if you let go of all that stuff to be something that you think they need you to be, you've now become everything they don't need. And you're just annoying. Like, I want you to do this. I want you to become this. And they just want to like play with you, you know? So I think that, yeah, and I've seen some really fun parenting from actors who like will bring their kid to shows and like put the kid on stage. Like they want to see who you are. They want to be something. And if you show them parenting, you're not showing them anything except how to be a parent, you know, or how to be like a kid, or like your idea of what a kid should be. Like, I'm telling you how to do life instead of showing them how to live it. That makes sense.
I love that. That inspired me.
Oh, thanks. Good. I'm glad. You're welcome.
I guess we're done. That was such a good interview. That was so good.
Thank you, Bailey. That was awesome.